Recording has started. I'm testing the testing. Recording and testing. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between? I'm Dr. P, and you're watching NUBSAUCE TV. Today we're going to go through my concept folder. This is the idea of this video is just to serve as kind of like just an idea thing for you. So if you just kind of leave the video on, go through, you can see some of these kind of things that I've been playing around with that translate into mechanisms that are really helpful in some of my other creations. And so yeah, let's start off and just jump into this concept folder here. So first is my famous helicopter base. This is pretty self-explanatory. It can be controlled, but as you can see, this mechanism does little by itself. It needs some stabilization. It needs some kind of outer core to it. Aside from that, let's see how it's kind of built here. So I've got 4 ballasts here. They each have a little bit of weight to it. I have these wheels, which are actually connected, I believe, if I delete this, by a brace. You can see that brace right there that's connecting those two. There's a similar brace connecting these two, and there's some braces that connect, if I delete this, the bottom of this wheel here with one of these, and then the top wheels here connect with that top one. So they're both spinning opposite directions. But that's kind of the idea. To give it some stability, you can see some braces there. So I think the next concept, I've got a little mini heli base. So this I was playing around with some size mods and stuff like that. It's not an actual mod, but there's some things in PC version for Besiege that you can make things tiny. So I was just trying to make a kind of a condensed core that doesn't kind of stick out so much. The height was a problem, so we definitely had to keep them same height, as you can see, but we were able to shrink down the profile a little bit. But other than that, pretty similar. I think these are maybe a little skinnier and longer than they should be. Let's see if that works. Let's unpin it here. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, yeah, that's smooth. Wow, I'm good at what I do. All right, so let's go to this. This is a reaction wheel base. Same thing that's in the helicopter. It's just super simple. This actually, aside from the helicopter, if you don't need kind of those the verticality to it and some propellers there, this is actually what's in my quadcopter, and I will show you. Copter, where's my quadcopter? Where's my quadcopter? So here's my assault drone, and so this whole section right here is essentially just a larger version of that reaction wheel that helps control what the quadcopter is doing. So playing around with the reaction wheels is helpful. I think I learned that from Kerbal Space Program. So something that's spinning, if you can spin it in a certain direction, it's going to spin the rest of the body in the opposite direction, either a little amount or a large amount, depending on the mass. This is the base of a turret. And so I think I was just playing around with, can I move some of these objects without them crashing into each other? And how stable can I make it? So if I grab here, it's really heavy. I'm really trying to drag it up. And there you go. But that takes a lot. I can't really drag it. As you can see, it takes a lot of force to drag it there. And that is in, where would I be? Turrets, I suppose. If it's a named turret. This would be in something like this guy here. So this guy shoots bullets here. Pew, 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 pew. Pretty automatically. But that is the same turret base, so I start off with just the prototype and go, okay, what's necessary as far as movement stuff, and then I kind of add on things to it. So that was a concept. As you can see, I have multiple versions. So there's the 2 cannon version, there's 1 cannon version, and I've got a 4 cannon version as well. That I really enjoy. I've got a little cockpit in there. Let's see if I can remember the controls. P? No. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh, depth of field is on. All right, there we go. So you can see right there. I wonder if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? Nope. That's as close as we're getting. There we go. Say bye to that guy. Say bye to that guy. So, again, having a concept folder is kind of important. It can help serve as a base for something. So, as you may know, I'm interested in turrets. And so this is just an example of how to get something to move left and right and up and down, and what is more important. So I was playing around with, if I have something that moves left and right, can I have something that moves up and down independently of it? And I decided that moving left and right is more important because then it doesn't disrupt the base here. So I've pinned the center block, and I was just trying to see what works really well. And I put a hinge, little steering hinge on the back of this to move it up and down. It rotates from the center there. And then can I put something up here? Can things not stick to each other? Because sometimes if you put things too close to each other, they'll stick to each other, unfortunately, in Besiege. But the wheels, I think this is probably just a trashed idea. The wheels tend to fall off and burn up and take damage pretty easily. So that has been probably replaced there. Let's see. The bat. This is one of my first creations. So this is when Besiege was like super popular in China too. And I remember there was this, there wasn't like a workshop where we could share things as easily. So we would share things on this random site that popped up specifically for Besiege. And I got way too many views and downloads from this machine. So I was just trying to make a transformer. Besiege was very, very simple back then. There weren't a whole lot of things you could do. So I think if I press the plus button or minus button up, no, that's something else. Is it? Oh, no, that's the forward button. No, that's... I'm gonna figure this out. There's a button, I swear. Okay, let's figure this out here. J, up, down, right, alt, 1, 2. Is it 1 and 2? Okay, let's try it. Oh, there we go. So this was the Batmobile days, and then the steering was super goofy, but I had to figure out how to create steering with just the very basic tools of Besiege, and this is kind of what I came up with. So it's fully armored, and then it's got this little pop-up turret. Which button is that? There we go. And then this can move left and right, and there's a little cannon that can shoot, and I can kind of direct that stuff, and as you can see, like, the things will catch on fire. So that is obviously a concept. it's not great. This is the back of a towing. If you've ever seen, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I got some inspiration on these tow trucks that would just sweep into this area, and in like 5 seconds, they have this mechanism that comes down, slides underneath the back two wheels of a vehicle, lifts the vehicle up, and then they're gone. And so nobody has to get out of the car. And this was back before a lot of people were flying machines on Besiege multiplayer. And so I was trying to create a mechanism that was strong enough to lift up everybody's vehicles. If they weren't paying attention, I could zoom in, pick up their vehicle, and just drive off with it. Let's see. What is the... Okay, that's up and down. Okay, this drops the thing. Okay. Oh, it was working. No, it wasn't working. Okay. So this essentially, this is supposed to drop down, and then I would back the vehicle up, and then this is not supposed to be rotating. But that would slide under, and then you'd grab it, lock it in, lift it up a little bit, I think. Yeah, with this. So instead of rotating this back up, this stays there, but these pistons... Is there a down button? Is there a down button for these? Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, this is supposed to rotate up just a little bit, and then it lifts the vehicle's two wheels just a little bit off the ground. Anyway, that didn't go anywhere. If you guys want to play around with that, go ahead. It was a fun little mechanism. This is just a balloon that I invented. I wanted to create a target, and it's kind of spaced out a little bit differently, but I wanted to create a target that I can load in and shoot at before they had these kind of targets. And as you can see, that's pretty similar, so I wonder where they got the idea. But let's see here. What else we got? Okay, so in the beginning you saw the Bobcat. This is, this is tank steering. So I have like 4 different buttons to control these guys. This goes left and right. And again, I was just playing around with like, what would it look like if I had something that can like lift up and lift down. So this comes up slowly. As you can see, this stays pretty level, and that's kind of what I was looking for. But it's also pretty bouncy, so it's not super stable, and that's not great. So I would definitely do it differently. And then I think this had something that goes left and right. Is that right? H. Oh, okay. So yeah, that slides in and out, so I can grab onto things and lift them up. Yeah, just another little concept that just kind of went nowhere. This is usually what things look like when I build them before I skin them, before I start really trying to nail down and like make the design look a little smoother and then kind of reinforce things wherever. So this is probably what your creations will look like right off the bat. This is one of my favorite creations. This is little Broomy. How do I get him out of there? Okay. So this is one of my little guys. He's got a little balloon head that keeps him upright. This is a little ski that can basically slide over any of the terrain that's in this game. There's not a whole lot of like friction in this game, which is weird. But he basically will just zip up to a tank, click onto it. So this is about as heavy as a tank. And then I press a button. Yep. And he transforms. And then he has the power to lift something. Okay, let's see if I can. Go. No, Broomy, you're failing me, bro. Okay, so that changes his orientation. Okay, let's see. How heavy did I make that? 300 pounds. So he can lift. If you get good leverage, he can lift just under 300 pounds, which is crazy. I think I have a version that's much more powerful. Yeah, Broomy. There's some other versions of Broomy. Just trying to see like how can I run into something and maintain that contact without certain joints breaking. So this is just another iteration of Broomy. I might put Broomy out on the workshop one day. We'll see. I'll get back to it. Got some cranes here, so let's see what this version is. So I've got 4 little pylons at the base, a little counterweight. This looks pretty neat. I wonder if that was one of my later ones. This guy must have been one of my first ones. So big counterweight, not really as far out as it should be. And this has 2 grabbers because those joints tend to break pretty easily with heavier weight. What's this guy? Yeah, this one looks pretty neat too. It's without the kind of pylon base. It's got little grabbers at the bottom. It looks like a good one. Let's see. This goes forward and back. And then does it go down? No, that's left and right. So this rotates. What did I do here? Okay, I got some wheels there. That's cool. And then that goes down, that goes up, and then we've got a little button for grabbing. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. What else we got here, guys? Crane arm. Whatchamacallit? A wait, what am I trying to say? Compact. A compact arm that kind of comes out. Oh, I was playing around with the idea of how to do a Mars rover, I think. Yeah, this is a really old creation because this is my tank steering as well, using those 4 different buttons, almost like treads. And then one other, okay, yeah. So there's this can twist and rotate. Yeah, okay. So I was just playing around with some of that stuff. Nope, that's not the right one. All right, there we go. Okay, so there's a little spring there where it can take a little bit of impact, and so it just doesn't break off right when I run into something. Nice. Okay, good little concept. A good thing to play around with. What's this guy? This is a cruncher. So I drop this in multiplayer, people drive up into it, and as you can see, it slowly starts feeding the car a little bit faster, until it goes through that tiny hole and it just starts pulling things off of the vehicle. So this is really fun to watch when I get stuff in game. Let's see here. I've got a cube. This is a cube that it's kind of like it's got some hacks to it. I think I have a couple buttons in here. If we look inside, it's got a bunch of vacuums and other random stuff. And so if I just put this on in multiplayer, people like bounce it around and try and roll the die and stuff like that. It usually has a skin on it, but it's as you can see earlier, it said the skin isn't available. But if I want to, I would press a button. I can't even remember what button it would be, and then it just starts sucking everything towards it, or it gets locked in place. Yeah. So I made it so that it can like stasis lock in place if somebody bumps into it. And so if I see someone really driving at it, like they really want to hit it, I'll do the stasis lock thing, so it's like hitting a brick wall for them when it used to be bouncy before. So that was interesting, playing around with some weird physics interactions that they have. This is a gyro stabilizer apparently. So I was trying to see how to orient something vertically at any given time. Okay, why are those so heavy? But anyway, how do I keep something oriented vertically at any given time? And this would be the answer to that. So these are constantly, I think, negative cannons. Yeah, they're negative cannons, negative water cannons. So they're kind of pulling air toward, they're like vacuuming towards the air, I guess. Again, a weird thing. It's not a real physics thing that's going on. It's just kind of a little glitch in game. And then the balloon helps keep it oriented vertically. What do I use that in? Do I use that in my... No, I guess we don't need that anymore, because if I pull up my... I pull up a version of these little new logic gate blocks help track where anything is kind of vertically. So I have inside here on the sides, I have little sensors that sense if it's tilting up or down and left and right. What else did I use that for? Yeah, I don't even remember. It must have been, it's almost like a helicopter. There's always some like lift, like keeping it vertical. But I can't remember the mechanism. Maybe a turret or maybe a missile eventually. Oh, I think I know. One of these... I'm afraid to open this. Is this one it was? Yeah, this is like a satellite. So this should be in the concept folder, I guess. But this is a satellite, and it kind of stays locked in orbit. And what I was trying to play around with was launching something. So doing a little bit of rocket science, launching something from the ground. It shoots up, ends up staying here. Yeah, it is locked in. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so it's still kind of staying vertical. These little cannon things are keeping it vertical, but they have let's see if I press 1. Yeah, they have missiles that... Oh, nope. Wait, where is it? There we go. Okay, they have missiles that can track. So this is an example of using your concepts to... Okay, so let's get rid of all this stuff. So this is an example of using a lot of your little concepts that you learned. So this... I can't even click on it. This here is just a bunch of cannons sticking out of a block. And when I fire those cannons, it shoots in a predictable pattern. And as you may see, if I come down here, you can kind of see that it has kind of an outline that has a good spread to it. So if I was back to it. If I was launching a satellite and I could get over a vehicle, I wouldn't have to be as accurate. I could just launch a bunch of cannons on top of it. Then I have missiles, which is again another little system that you can play around with. How do you deliver a bomb somewhere? So there's a little bomb, there's a little rocket, and then there's a steering device, and then another bomb on the head. So it's a pretty powerful bomb. And then how do you protect it? How do you keep it stable in orbit? So all those require multiple concepts. And if you can master each one of those little concepts, you can put them all together and make something like this. So if I give you an example here, air, I think this is maybe one of the closer ones. Maybe the sky down. I don't remember. Let's see. We're gonna press a button and see. Oh, nope, that's not it. Okay, so here's one of the stages of a portion of the rocket. So that goes up into the sky, and then I think I press a. Nope, that's not right. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So I just shed the rocket part, and then this is now stable in orbit. So I haven't paused the game or anything. As you can see, it's on 100%. So it is maintaining its orbit. It shot up to the sky. And then now I believe I have. Let's see. I think I have a cannon, and I could really, really zoom in. Oh man, what are we gonna? I don't even know where I am here. There's a. Rotate. We're gonna try and hit this thing here. Right. Boom. There you go. That's the whole tower. And so I have a camera that like shows the ground level as well. Wow, that's super weird. Yeah, I got into some weird stuff, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's so I just nuked the tower from orbit with the precision cannon that I launched into space. So stuff like that. All that starts with just you mastering concepts of this game. This is a hand that I created. I am a sports doc, and so I was like, oh, what if I make a hand in game? The hand is controlled much like just with your hand on the keyboard. It does all the things if you're pressing the buttons with those actual fingers. So it's really, if I'm pressing with my pinky and my ring finger, it's going to do this. If I'm pressing with my middle finger, I'm on IJKL basically. And so you can get really kind of crass and rude if you want to. No, let's undo that. Or you can be really nice and kind if you want. There you go. All right. But again, just little mechanisms, playing around with multi-jointed things, and playing around with keyboard ergonomics as well. How you're interfacing with the device, not just how the device is made. This is a sled that is supposed to have a bunch of balloons on it, but this helps. It doesn't look like it's doing much now. Let me show you. Well, I'll show you the mechanism. So you can see there's that core, that same core, that concept of reaction wheels. These are holding on to basically indestructible plows here, and those again slide across the ground pretty easily if it wasn't pinned in place. So it doesn't really do damage to it as it's going. There's little propellers in the back at launch, and then that would be blimps maybe. Yeah, so let's open up those swordfish here. So if I want to get off the ground and get going, there's my little blimp that I made. So this is very typical, like, little flying machine. It's got a little turret up top that can aim. It's got a fire out back. So when you add fire to water for this little water can, it creates steam, and as you can see, it's pushing me a lot quicker. And so that propeller's a lot more effective if I really need to get out of a sticky situation. And I do have, I don't even remember. Oh, there's up and down. There's down. Yeah. So again, just thinking about let's make a sled and then let's add on to it. So I have 4 different other creations that use that same sled idea, and then I just mixed and matched different weapons and stuff like that. So let's take a look at that galleon maybe. Yeah, so that looks a little bit cooler. It looks like one of those old Spanish ships. It's got a lot of propellers on it. I think it's a little faster. Let's see. Oh no, it's not, because I don't have that little water speedy cannon on it. So this is just kind of the slow little boy. All right, let's continue here. Tank treads. So I was making the Sandcrawler from Star Trek. Not Star Trek. What am I saying? Star Wars. And the Sandcrawler is interesting because it's got 4 treads in the front, and it's got these 2 move together while those 2 move the opposite way. So I was trying to come up with a mechanism that could do that. And so I figured it out. Let's see. Yeah, so I can go forward and backwards, and as I rotate the centerpiece left and right, it pulls and moves just like the actual Sandcrawler. Let's see if I got any unfinished Sandcrawlers anywhere. It's got to be on the ground here. Go-kart BattleBots. No, where would I put it? Universe, Star Wars. Maybe it's in here somewhere. Yeah, Sandcrawler. So it's half done. This is very typical. Oh no, it dropped. But anyway, yeah. So I was trying to make the front piece kind of come down, just like it does, so you can load vehicles onto it and other stuff. But this is kind of what it looks like, just being able to kind of rotate these treads and attaching all these pieces to make tracks. All stuff you can do in Besiege. Pretty cool. What else? Let's wrap this up pretty quick here. So this is a Strand Beast. You can see there's kind of 3 individual ones. So when I'm creating something like this, I don't obviously start with that amount of complexity. I start with something really simple, and this is the Strand Beast. That's super simple. I just wanted to play around with the walking mechanism, so I put it on skis, and I can see, instead of playing around with like how do I create balance and all that stuff, I was like, let's just figure out the angles here, and so this is kind of how a Strand Beast moves. It's got one kind of rotating thing there, and I just made it real slow, and I just wanted to see, can it move this way and that way? When I this looks really complicated, I'm sure. When I figured it out, then I was like, okay, let's make a bigger one. But I haven't really done anything with that either. The Swash Plate for a helicopter. This is how a real helicopter actually works. So the Swash Plate will actually rotate while this is going. Okay, and so that will also change if I want to go up or go down. This will change the direction of that while it's moving in midair. So you can slow it down here, and you can see if I go. Okay, so you can see it kind of rotates some other things, and then I can change the direction that it's moving. And that is how an actual helicopter works. So if you just speed that up or make the mechanisms a little bit smaller and tighter and closer together, then you can make an actual, and this is what a lot of people do that are crazy with Besiege. They'll use real mechanisms as opposed to figuring out some silly workaround like I like doing. This is just playing around with tank treads. Can we go forward? Can we go backwards? And then using a reaction wheel to create rotation. As you can see, it does not rotate too terribly quickly. So reaction wheel, not a good idea for a tank. That's what I learned there. This is more tank treads. So I was just playing around with Destiny. Actually has a tank that looks pretty cool and has a cool concept for how the wheels work. Each one of these has its own kind of suspension system that the tank kind of works around on, and so it can take some really cool, interesting terrain without breaking. But I ultimately, there's some other things that I would like to kind of fix with that. Testing wise, what else we got? Some target practice. It's just making some target practice here. If you shoot cannons and stuff at this, I think this is on the workshop. I think if you shoot cannons and stuff at this from afar, you can shoot the air target. You can try and see how missiles like interact with this ballistically. I'll give you an example here. Where's my missiles? Nope, that's not right. Here? Yeah, okay. So, we might need to move the whole thing. Let's just shoot this one. Slow-mo, and we're gonna follow it. Oh no! That didn't work. Okay, let's try this one. There we go. Yeah, so that's kind of stuff I'm looking at, like how different missiles fly. Again, this is just playing around with concepts. So how does it lift off? Does it rotate to maintain stability? How stable is it? How does it penetrate the target? How deep? How much can it blow up? Surrounding damage, all that sort of stuff. So I think that's pretty good. We can leave off on that. There's not a whole lot more. These are all just like crazy turret ideas or tank ideas. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that little test or showcase of some concepts. Maybe that gave you some ideas or some inspiration on what to create next in this wonderful game. And I know this was the long video, so I will finish off with this wonderful slow speed awesomeness that is my missile system. Oh, no. There you go. All right, let's do that. Let's do that a little bit better. I like this one. This one's my favorite. All right, here we go. Slow it down, baby. Here it comes. Down. See some deformation. When that explosion hits, starts tearing that wood apart. Wow, look at that. Pretty neat. And all this becomes shrapnel and just bounces into everything else. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Shoot me a comment, write some stuff, sub if you want. I'm happy to pursue some ideas that you guys have. If you say, hey, can you build this, or can you teach me, how this thing works, or I can't figure this whatever out. I'm happy to. I love this game so much. Played it for, this is like 7 years now. So I'm glad it's out on Xbox and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm Dr. P, and you are watching NUBSAUCE TV.